What is going on, wrestling fans? You're on WrestlingRumors.net for Wrestling Warm-Up. It is Sunday, May 31st, the last day of May. I celebrated a birthday 4 days ago. It's a good week, and we're topping it off for the freaking Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that came out of left field and came out of nowhere. And is set to be a really good show. I'm excited for tonight, man. I'm stoked to see what happens during this pay-per-view event. We have, of course, a stacked card. It's only 6 matches, but it's going to be really, really good with the Chamber involved, and you have 2 firsts ever for the Chamber. You have a Intercontinental Championship match that's going to be set inside the Chamber, and then, of course, you have the Tag Team title match, which is going to be chaos, a tornado tag inside of the Chamber match. That's nuts in itself that they're even thinking about doing this. As we get going here, I know some more of the Wrestling Rumors crew is going to be joining us, the dailies, and of course John Alba and Chris Water if they can get in here. But right now we have a returning panel member, Mr.
return
song.
You know WWE is doing something right when I come on a show, because this is the first actual wrestling event I'll be watching start to finish live in about a month.
Yeah, I mean, outside of your putting up some news during your shifts, you haven't been watching really, have you?
I've made a habit of turning in the one segment, which is always at 10 from what I can gather, and that's the U.S. Open Challenge, and that's really been the best stuff that I've seen, at least live, and the only stuff, but that's about it. Hopefully get back on the grind now that school's winding down.
Yeah, man. So this is your last year of high school, right?
Correct.
So where are you planning on going to college?
Probably RMU. Well, no, that's not a probably. That's pretty much set in stone.
Yeah, so that's cool, dude. I'm glad you're getting into the college game and going to be doing something new, but we're going to have a lot of stuff to do before then, man. We're going to have a full summer. Of course, SummerSlam in August is going to be nuts in New York, and that's going to be crazy. The dailies are joining us now. Dailies, as Adam runs away for some reason. I don't know what. He's getting a pillow for his chair. Dailies, you look great. You're dapper, Adam, of course.
Thank you.
Looking gorgeous as always. How y'all doing tonight?
Not bad. What's going on, guys?
Dude, just hanging out, man. Ready for some Elimination Chamber. I'm stoked for this event, by the way. I don't know if anybody else is. I am really, really freaking excited. As Alex pointed out before we even went live, there are a lot of new shirts for Kevin Owens on WWEshop.com. It came out of left field. So they're playing off of Cena's red, white, and blue U.S. angle, which is awesome. Let's talk about this straight out the chute. There are 3 new Kevin Owens shirts now that he's part of the main roster, which means WWE is so high on this guy that it's ridiculous. And as high on him as we are, especially, Adam, you and I, who have been big Ring of Honor fans for a long time, really, really into this guy, Kevin Steen. As Kevin Owens, we've got this new red, white, and blue Fight Owens Fight shirt, KO on the back with red, white, and blue. Looks awesome. It's kind of like the old. It's as much as a knockoff of the Kill Sting, Kill Sting Kill or Fight Sting Fight shirts that we saw with the red, white, and blue that were knockoffs of the Rise Above Hate. It's kind of like that, but not really. We got Fight in red Owens and then Fight in blue, and then on the back it's a red bar KO in white and then a blue bar, which is pretty cool. They're going to go off this whole U.S. title thing. And try to pimp this new shirt out. I hope he's wearing that one tonight and not the Fight Owens Fight shirt that he has been wearing on Raw and SmackDown. But really cool, they have 3 new shirts up for the guy. They are super into this guy. Can we talk about this before we even get into Elimination Chamber? Because he's going to be a big part of the show tonight.
Oh, yeah. They definitely already have 3 different shirts for him before tonight. They're going to push him to the sky. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and I think that they know they have something special right now because they have the anti-Cena. Right now what they're doing is they're feeding the older marks like us that like the indie circuit, and they're pleasing the kids and the women with John Cena. So right now this match has everything that they want.
And you can tell there's a rocket on him because I think it's no coincidence his debut match will be tonight, and then in 2 weeks it's Money in the Bank right over. So he's probably not gonna he's not gonna lose cleanly this, obviously. So there's definitely a rocket on him following tonight. That's for sure.
No, and I haven't even looked at our predictions. I don't know what you guys picked. I've been so busy the last couple of days. I have no idea what you guys picked for tonight. So when we go down the list, it's gonna be a complete surprise to me as well. I'm excited to go down the list with all you guys. But there's no way that Kevin Owens is losing clean tonight to John Cena. And all these people on Twitter that have been saying, well, what's going to be for, where's his career going to go tonight, like after tonight when he loses to John Cena clean? You have lost your freaking mind. The guy's not going to lose to John Cena tonight. He's either going to win via pinfall or there's going to be a no contest or DQ. In my opinion, and we'll go further into this whenever we get to that match and the predictions, but I thoroughly believe that it's going to be either John Cena wins via DQ or there's going to be a no contest where the ref stops the match because Kevin Owens is just going to beat the ever-living crap out of John Cena. And we're going to see what all of you other guys pick tonight. But man, I'm stoked for this card. It's 6 matches, and I'm expecting a lot. An absolute great show just from the card that we have, and it's not even a lot. That's the beautiful part, is that we're not even talking about an 8-match card. We're talking about 6 matches, where the chambers are probably going to go 20 matches, or 20 to 40 minutes each. I know that's a big gap, but we have no idea how a tag match in the chamber is going to work, so I don't even know how long they're actually going to go. But they may go 40 minutes with that many tag teams involved in a tornado tag. But let's just go straight ahead into the chamber predictions that we all have, man. I mean, and I know that there's with our 2015 staff picks, there's a clear-cut winner going forward right now, and that's Alex Bisong, who hasn't even watched the frickin' product. Which
took 2014 off. 2013 I won, so it's
so ridiculous. You don't even watch it. This is how dumb WWE logic is at this point. Because
this is just how good of a booker I am.
He puts up 3 stories, that's it, and then boom, he gets freaking 76 points. Walter is trailing at 6 points behind at 70 points. I'm at 69. John's at 69. Frank Manzo, who won last year, is at 67. Joe Omega's at 66. Of course, Will Benson's at 64. And the Dailies are doing really well as well, but they can't match us because they came on too late. So next year they'll be in the actual running to see who's the champ of Wrestling Rumors when it comes down to predictions. But let's go ahead and talk about the Intercontinental Championship Elimination Chamber match. We know going in that WWE has been promoting Sheamus as the next Intercontinental Champion. Whether or not that's going to stick because of the promotions or not, that's all in the air. I could see Dolph Ziggler winning this thing, and of course Sheamus chasing after him, but I couldn't pick that. Knowing that WWE has predicted or promotions for WWE events have come out before and go ahead and spoiled Batista's return, Hulk Hogan's return, a lot of things like that. And with Sheamus listed as Intercontinental Champion, I couldn't vote against Sheamus. He's hot. He's a heel. Babyfaces should be chasing him. So I picked Sheamus to win the Intercontinental Championship tonight. Will Benson picked King Barrett because, England and all that. And then John Alba, who's not joining us right now, he actually started a new job tonight, or a new job today, which is pretty cool. And we'll have more details on that in a little bit. Really proud of that kid. I'm really excited for him. He picked Sheamus as well. Frank Manzo and Chris Walter picked Dolph Ziggler. They're going with the babyface, the guy who has Lana at his side, which is pretty cool. And then Alex, you picked Sheamus. Joe picked Sheamus. Sam, you picked Sheamus, and Adam picked Sheamus. So Dailies, outside of the promotional material that came out with Sheamus, why do you think Sheamus is going to get the victory?
Well, basically, since, let's see, who all's in it? Barrett just won King of the Ring. Ziggler, don't really see them giving the title to him. Everybody else just doesn't seem logical. Sheamus is the only one that they've really been pushing as a dominant force that's in this match. Because, what all do we have left? R-Truth. Bray Wyatt doesn't need the title.
Ryback.
Is Ryback not Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, Ryback's in there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't see them giving it to Ryback either.
Yeah.
So, Sheamus just seems like the only logical option.
I think for me, I would have been more apt to lean towards Ziggler if the Rusev injury didn't happen.
Right.
And I think that's where, for me, I kind of shifted back to Sheamus. I could have seen Ziggler winning it, and then obviously him and Rusev going for a while. Then that could have been an Intercontinental feud. But with Rusev on the shelf, I think they're going with the safe bet and just putting on Sheamus and then figuring out who's going to chase Sheamus for it.
B-Song, you picked Sheamus.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was close to picking Ryback. I just don't think it's time for him right now to win his 5th championship in WWE, obviously. But I just think Sheamus makes the most sense out of the advertisements. He's just coming off of a return. He's supposed to be this big monster heel. And I don't really know, but correct me if I'm wrong, he's only wrestled, 2 singles matches against Ziggler on pay-per-view since returning?
Yeah, I mean that's in the feud. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it makes sense to legitimize him, give him the title. The only other guy I could see possibly getting the title is Ziggler, but as Adam hit on, Rusev's injured now, so they might not go that direction.
Yeah, and Rusev's still scheduled to be on the show tonight. We don't know in what capacity. We don't know if he's going to be on there, and they announced that he's out of the match, and they put Bray Wyatt in. We know that Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer on Thursday, reported that Bray Wyatt would be replacing Sheamus in that match or not Sheamus, but replacing Rusev if Rusev is indeed out. But we'll see what happens tonight. Rusev's still scheduled to be on the show, so we don't know if he's going to be in the match and he gets injured during the match and nobody takes his place, or if he's going to be deemed unable to compete and they put Bray Wyatt in. Either way, I don't see Bray Wyatt getting put in and winning the match. To me, Sheamus is the most logical. It's not the most WWE logical thing to do, I guess, but as far as logical, Sheamus makes the most sense, and we can argue about this for days, but I feel like, especially going into SummerSlam, I mean, obviously they were setting up a feud between Dolph Ziggler and Rusev with Lana being involved. If Rusev's gone for a while, that's going to be scrapped, and they're going to have to do something different. So for me, if they were going that route to begin with, that just screams that neither Ziggler or Rusev were going to be holding that IC title. They're going to be feuding with each other without the title involved. And Sheamus was going to be holding the title, and people are going to be challenging him. He's the heel. He's the big guy that just came back. Give him some gold, let him run with it, and let people chase him. That's how I feel. Of course, there are some of those in WrestlingRumors.net that feel otherwise, so that's cool. Like I said, Chris and Frank think Ziggler's going to get it, and Will thinks King Barrett's going to get it. So we'll see what happens there. Before we get going further down the card, let's talk about something that's not in our predictions, but just something that's going to happen. On the kickoff show, we're going to have the return of The Miz, which we expected at some point this month because filming for Santa's Little Helper is done. We saw Paige return a couple weeks ago to set up this triple threat match we're going to see tonight. The Miz is going to return for Miz TV tonight, and then, of course, he'll be on Raw more than likely tomorrow night, leading into Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be surprised to see Miz in that Money in the Bank match 2 weeks from tonight. But you have Miz doing a Miz TV with Daniel Bryan, the former Intercontinental Champion. So what do we expect to see tonight between Daniel Bryan and The Miz during Miz TV?
I expect Miz to be basically crapping all over Daniel Bryan. Well, I mean, it's obvious. I can see Daniel Bryan promoting Tough Enough with this whole interview, I guess, for Miz TV, because he's going to be on Tough Enough, promote Tough Enough that way. Maybe even have him attack Daniel Bryan. I have no idea why they're even doing this, other than to promote Tough Enough.
Maybe this is how Sandow comes in and Bryan gives Sandow a little bit of a rub. I mean, that's the only thing I can think. Because,
is it going to be Sandow Bryan now?
Well, I mean, I hope not, but I think that you would still. There really hasn't been closure on The Miz and Sandow, and I think if you really want to get Sandow over, the guy to put him over, or at least get the crowd behind him, is going to be Daniel Bryan. So maybe that they're going to tease something that way. I mean, I could see Sandow maybe coming out, laying The Miz out, and then him and Daniel Bryan celebrating in the ring afterwards. But for some reason, I feel like we're going to see Sandow during this segment.
Sandow. What do you think, Alex?
If I had to guess, I would say this is more just a thing with only 6 matches on the card. They want to have some kind of non-match. I know the autobiography. I mean, I could see maybe Bo Dallas come out, then you lead in the Neville, obviously, as opponent for the night. Maybe those two are the opening match. You could have Bo Dallas and Bryan have a history. Maybe Bryan can put Neville a bit over, and then you have the opening match be that.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go. I would assume that an opening match is either the tag match or the Intercontinental Championship match in the Chamber. I could be wrong. They may do Bo Dallas versus Neville first. I'm not sure how they're going to open the show, but freaking A, if we see Sandow in that segment, I'd be surprised. I would be completely surprised. I'm not expecting that at all. I'm expecting Bryan to talk about a little bit more of his injury. I don't think he's going to go into any detail because obviously they're telling him not to go into detail about it. But I expect Brian to talk about his injury a little bit more, and then of course plug the crap out of Tough Enough, which debuts in 24 days. So I'm with Sam. I think this is all about kind of acknowledging where Brian is in his recovery, so that people quit asking about him, and then you have some Tough Enough plugs because he's one of the coaches or one of the judges. He's not a coach; he's a judge, which is crazy how they have a host and Chris Jericho, a few coaches, and then a few judges, which is just weird. But they haven't done this before in this kind of way, so it's gonna be interesting to see Tough Enough in 24 days and see how that rolls. There's a lot of interesting applicants for Tough Enough, so I'm interested to see how this first episode goes because, I mean, I'm assuming if it's like American Idol, they're gonna try to weed through people and put a bunch of people on the first show. We know Brock Lesnar guy, who's a big fan of WrestlingRumors.net, and we're a big fan of his. I mean, he's at almost every show. Like, it's nuts. Between him and Frank the Clown and Noel Foley, like, what the heck? Like, how much money do you spend going to WWE shows? But they're big fans of ours, so we're big fans of theirs. And with Brock Lesnar guy, I want to see him on the first show at least. Like, the kid's there every single freaking show. You can tell he loves the product, so give him a shot. And then there's a couple other people that are really good. And then I'm sure we'll get the regular reality show bull crap where they put in the stupid people, the speds, if you will, so to where we have people acting dumb just to have people on camera acting dumb, like we always do when it comes to reality shows. I'm sure we'll see that too. But I'm excited to see what happens here. I'm excited to see what happens for Daniel Bryan tonight. I'm sure we're going to get some Tough Enough stuff. I'm sure we're going to get a little bit of the injury talk, but not a lot. I'm almost honestly, with the hour pre-show kicking off in almost 40 minutes, like last time, we did not have a promotion for R-Truth versus Stardust. If they want to have an extra match on the kickoff show, I'm going to go ahead and predict that it's going to be Rowan and Harper versus the new Mega Powers. How we've seen Curtis Axel and Macho Mandow teaming together. They'll go against Rowan and Harper. And Rowan and Harper will either pull out their crazy super kick move for the finish or the 3D that they've been using for all the other shows, which is nuts. The fact that Bully Ray has a Legends contract and is allowing Rowan and Harper to do the 3D, which is pretty freaking crazy. But if I had to predict there's going to be an extra match that they haven't promoted for the kickoff show, it would be Rowan and Harper versus the new Mega Powers. I think that may be where we see Mandow, if we see him at all. I don't see him in that segment with Daniel Bryan. I don't see Bo Dallas either. I don't see that. Could. I'm not gonna put anybody against it, but could. Going on to Neville and Bo Dallas, like you said, Alex, if that is the first match, almost all of us picked Neville to win via pinfall. I mean, he's been the low man out. He's been, Bo Dallas has been getting the upper hand on television. Neville, they've been selling the knee. If they wanted to go a couple extra matches with this, I could see Dallas winning. But all of us outside of the Wrestle Reaction guys, outside of Frank and Joe, surprisingly, picked Neville via pinfall. Frank and Joe picked Bo Dallas via pinfall. I really wish they were on this panel to talk to us about this. Frank, I know you're watching this, and I know you're hearing my voice right now. Get your ass on this show because I want to hear you tell me why you're picking Bo Dallas to win against Neville when Bo Dallas has had the upper hand for 3 weeks. I want to know, legitimately want to know. I need to know. The rest of us picked Neville. Alex, why do you think Neville for sure?
I just don't think it makes sense. Like you said, on TV, it's been Bo Dallas getting the upper hand. I also think, too, again, we're just 2 weeks away from Money in the Bank. That just seems like a match that Neville's destined for. I don't know if they'll actually put him in it, but I just think he's going to continue to look strong tonight. He's going to get the clean win. It just wouldn't make sense to have him lose.
Sam, Adam?
Well, like both of you said, that Bo Dallas has been getting the upper hand. Neville has been going over phenomenally with the crowd. again, he's another one that they're actually pushing to the moon. He's great in the ring. His matches have been stealing the show lately. It would just be dumb not to give him the win.
Yeah, and I think looking at the card, it looks like it might again be another heel-heavy, winner, winning fan base, so to speak. So I think this is one of the baby faces that's going to go over, and just like Alex hit the nail on the head. I mean, to keep the momentum behind them. I mean, the crowd's behind them. You guys all hit everything. We'll just say the dude abides. I agree with all of you.
Hey, man, got a beverage here. Hey. The dude abides. You're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, my friend.
Yes.
I literally, and this is trivia for my friends that are from Clemson University, that I've been friends with, that have watched wrestling since freshman year of college, for real, and they know this. I literally, just a little bit of trivia about Doug O'Mac, I literally went to class dressed like the Big Lebowski. For 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of my freshman year at Clemson, we went bowling once a week. We drank White Russians like it was water, and we literally went. I went to class dressed like the Big Lebowski for 2 weeks in a row. The last 2 weeks of my freshman
year.
Year.
On campus.
So what?
So it's got to be good being the dude on campus.
Everybody knew what I was doing too, which was phenomenal. That was great. Nobody asked like what was under the robe. No one asked what was going on. I was wearing jellies that I picked up from Goodwill. I mean, where do you get jellies from? The like jelly sandals that still exist. Goodwill. That's where you get jellies from. I literally went to class for 2 weeks dressed like the dude. So love the dude. Love the Big Lebowski. Love the Big Valboski, which was off of that as well. But yeah. Big Lebowski, great movie. If anybody wants to quote that movie to me at my Twitter account at Doug O'Mac, I will quote you all day long. Don't worry, I will respond as much as possible. One of my favorite T-shirts outside of wrestling shirts. This is just another piece of trivia. One of my favorite, and we're all over the place tonight, but I love it. Little piece of trivia about me. One of my favorite shirts is that there's literally a shirt that makes fun of, and my mind was blown when Comedy Central started showing the Big Lebowski. They censored it so bad. It wasn't like they cut the words out. They literally changed the words. You know how some movies get where they actually change the words to be something else? There was the scene where John Goodman is destroying a dude's car, saying "I will F you in the A." They literally transcribed that and put in new dialogue that says "I will fight a stranger in the Alps." This is what happens, Larry, when you fight a stranger in the Alps. Like, that's what they replaced it with. And there is a shirt that has John Goodman bashing a car that says, "This is what happens when you fight a stranger in the Alps." It is my favorite shirt of all time. Outside of a couple of different wrestling shirts that are amazing and legendary, "This is what happens when you fight a stranger in the Alps" is one of my favorite shirts of all time. Because that is atrocious. That is the worst way to censor a movie ever. But Big Lebowski, the dude abides. There's a beverage here. Dude, looking out my back door. I'll quote it all day. Go ahead and send me some stuff. But everybody agrees outside of Frank and Joe that Neville's going to win this match. So until Frank gets his butt in here and tells me why he picked Bo Dallas, and I've literally just sent him a message saying to get his butt in this show, and tell all you fans that are watching, because I know you watch this show and you watch Wrestle Reaction. Yeah, I called him out. I want to know why he picked Bo Dallas. I'm a big Bo Dallas fan. Period. I am. I love the guy. I love his charisma. I love what he brings to the table when he trolls everybody. I don't see him winning tonight, and I want to know why Frank thinks that he will. Because I'm on his show multiple times a week, and multiple times a month, and I want to know so that we can have a good discussion tomorrow night after Raw. So Frank, get in here. I'm not going to wait forever. Moving on from that, and when Frank comes in, we'll go back to that. There's a triple threat Divas Championship match, which we predicted before Payback that this would be coming on whenever Paige returned. Whether she returned at Payback or the night after. Of course, she returned the night after, and what happened? We got a triple threat match made. So we're actually pretty split. As far as the Wrestling Rumors staff goes, we're pretty split here. I picked Paige via submission, and I'll explain that in a moment. Will picked Paige via pinfall. Again, England. I think that's the only reason that he's picking Paige is because they share the same homeland. John Alba picked Naomi via pinfall. I can see it. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. Frank and Joe, again, Wrestle Reaction guys, have Nikki Bella retaining the title via pinfall. If there's ever a time for Nikki Bella to lose the strap, it's tonight in a triple threat match, and that's how I see it. Obviously, they see it differently. Another thing I would love to hear Frank actually talk to us about and why he picked that. But Nikki Bella via pinfall from Frank and Joe. John and Chris and Alex and Adam think that Naomi's gonna win. And Sam, of course, has Paige, but she has Paige via pinfall, which I'm assuming she thinks is going to use the Cradle DDT instead of the Scorpion submission. So Adam, Naomi, I can see it. I waffled back and forth on this pick because Naomi's been the heel. Naomi's been the heel who's been chasing the title, and here comes Paige on the left field, returning immediately. I can see it. But tell me why you're picking Naomi. Because I'm sure it's probably the same reason why I almost picked Naomi.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear this.
You're ready to hear this? You look very offended right now, like I hit a sore spot. Here's what I think happens. I think Naomi gets the pinfall win over Paige. I don't think Nikki Bella's I think she's a non-factor.
Yeah.
Maybe Tamina runs some interference, gets Nikki Bella out of the way. I look at it this way. The real feud here is Paige and Naomi. Naomi's the one that theoretically took Paige out. Paige technically should be the #1 contender. But at the same time, we want to see Paige win the championship, so you have to make us wait. It's about that chase. Naomi's been chasing for a while. I think they'll put the title on her now, and then we have Paige basically go after her. This is a way to get Nikki Bella out of the picture. That way she's not pinned. She's, I guess there's not that it matters in the Divas division, but she's not harmed in any way. Right. But I think that Naomi pinning Paige and then them really going forward with this, I think is where they go.
Yeah, well, if she's not harmed, then she comes back into the picture immediately after Paige and Naomi are done, which is just smart because outside of bringing up Charlotte, who else do you have in the Divas division that's worth a crap? Outside of Tamina, even. Right. Tamina can work. I mean, I'm not dogging Tamina. The girl can work. I mean, she's a freaking snooker. She's a beast. She's Lady Diesel, as we affectionately refer to her as, especially in the way that she was working with AJ Lee. She's Lady Diesel. I could see her doing something with, kind of what we thought we were going to see with AJ Lee. I could see her turning on Naomi and trying to get a title shot at some point because she doesn't have to be somebody's henchman all the time. I don't know why they feel like they have to stick her with somebody just because she's huge. She can just be in the Divas division for the title on her own. But I agree with you, Adam, all the way, man. I picked Paige just because she's the #1 contender, and the way that they did all this with her leaving to do a movie and everything, I don't see in the Divas division. It's not like legitimate wrestling has been for the last 30 years, where the heel is the one that gets chased the most. It's just not. They flip back and forth from heel to face so much that I don't feel like it has to be a heel that loses tonight. Obviously, I feel like Sheamus is going to win the Intercontinental Championship. It can't be all heels that lose that win tonight, and Seth Rollins is going to win. So, and of course, we don't think that John Cena is going to get a clean win either. So for me, I think Paige is the face that gets a win tonight and gets the title, and then Naomi and Tamina challenge her. But Alex, you picked Naomi as well.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of just the same thing Adam said. I just really think, like, Naomi, if you turn her heel, you have Tamina Snuka working with her. At some point, you just have to put the title on her, just have her go over for once. I think, like you said, there's more value in Paige just chasing her for a bit. Maybe you go on until SummerSlam, have Paige win the title there, or maybe sometime in July, Paige wins to set up some sort of SummerSlam match where maybe you have somebody else in the picture in the Divas title, maybe, Charlotte. I just think it makes sense for Naomi to finally get over on somebody.
I mean, again, just like I said before Adam said his piece, I totally feel like it could be Naomi. I'm not saying that it's not going to be Naomi. Just because for me it's either one. But I don't think Nikki Bella retains. Putting her in a triple threat match instantly for me. She's held this thing since Survivor Series. It's time for her to lose it. And for me, this is a way for her to lose it without getting pinned or submitted, and I feel like it's time for Nikki Bella to get the title up. And again, I wish Frank and Joe were here to talk about it, because they're not. And
Well,
so
plus
I just
Nikki
have to.
Bella right now is the longest reigning champion in WWE, right? So, she is the longest reigning champion in WWE. And this is that has to end soon. And and especially if they want to get any kind of steam behind the Divas division. Not saying Naomi might instantly fix it, but at least to spice it up a little bit. I think that it would be. I think everybody's expecting Paige to win and expecting Nikki Bella to lose. So that's why I think they might slide Naomi in just to keep us on our toes.
I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't pick her, but I wouldn't be surprised. There may or may not be already an article that says Naomi won the Divas Champion. There's a Divas Championship turnover article already written. Whether I have to plug in Paige or Naomi, we'll see what happens. But there's already an article written for somebody winning the Divas Championship tonight. As far as the tag team turmoil Elimination Chamber match goes, we aren't very split. There are two people, and Sam, you're one of them. So I'm gonna call you out first.
What the fuck did I do?
Hey, chill out. There are two people.
Language.
I know, right? There are two people that picked somebody other than the New Day, and the New Day are your boys. So this is why I'm saying this. All of us picked the New Day.
I think there needs to be that one title that switches hands. Not often, but every couple weeks, and the tag titles are a good title to do that with, simply because right now they have so many good tag teams, and the tag team division's been stronger than it has been in a while. So I would actually like to see the tag titles switch over a bit every once in a while. I don't know. That's why I picked Cesaro.
You picked Cesaro.
I did.
Which to me is the only other credible tag team in this match. It's going to come down to New Day and Cesaro. I agree completely. This is where I need John Alba on this show. I know he's working. But John, at some point you're going to watch this. I know you're going to go back and watch this tomorrow or tonight or whatever. What in the blue hell are you thinking when you pick the primetime players? This is the first time I'm ever seeing these predictions. You picked the primetime players to come away with the tag team titles tonight. You're calling millions of dollars right now. You're calling millions of dollars on these tag team title belts. I don't understand it. John, I need you to come in here and tell me why. I'm challenging you at some point, whether it's tonight or tomorrow night on warm-up before Raw. You pick the primetime players. And the funny thing is, if they win, you're the only one that gets this right, period. And kudos to you if that happens. But you picked the primetime players to win the tag titles.
Maybe the Ascension.
Close. I will agree. That's very, very close to picking the Ascension. Because at what point has the primetime players proven that they are tag team title worthy?
Do they even wrestle?
They don't even wrestle.
They just do backstage promo things. That's all they do.
They do promos and wrestle superstars matches.
I don't want to speak for John, but I in a way, I'm not going to lie, I was entertaining the idea, only because Titus O'Neil just won that Father of the Year award, so I can see them try to capitalize on that. I absolutely can. I just don't know if right now, in this match is the time to do it.
We'll see. I need John to tell me. Like I just need. There's a lot of things that happen in these predictions that I need people to tell me why. I'm not like okay right now. I'm not okay.
Oh, dog, you're gonna hate me when we get to the Owens match.
If you pick John Cena clean, I'm gonna slap you through the camera right now.
I have him with a pinfall, but I think there's gonna be some interference. We'll get to that.
You see this face, right? You see this face. The rest of us picked the New Day. Heels with other people chasing them. I could see Cesaro as the only other credible team. Sam, I'll give you credit for that. If Cesaro wins, you can have Luke Harper and Eric Rowan challenging them soon. But man, the New Day are hot as a heel team, and there's three of them. Mm-hmm. And we don't know if it's going to be three of them in the match or not. But there's three of them.
And they've only had the title for 5 or 6 weeks. They haven't had the title.
Right.
So.
Why change it right now?
Right.
I just think it would make the feud more fun if it was switching between them and Kidzaro every couple weeks.
I agree. No,
it
I
would
absolutely
continue
agree.
it. It would make it more fun and interesting. They'd be able to do different promos on each other based on that fact, like you lost, now they're the titles, and you lost.
But are they ready to move
titles.
on, though? That's the thing. Are they ready to move on from Kidzaro?
I don't want them to be ready to move on.
I don't either, but I think that's the big question.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens. I'm not sure what happens here. I think more that we're gonna probably see the New Day come away, but we'll know soon enough, right? Yeah, Kevin Owens versus John Cena. And before I get to this, I need to know. Before I actually get into this, let's just talk about this before we get into this match. Kevin Owens is already on the main roster. Freaking A. We haven't talked about this as a group here right now. The guy signed a new contract on Friday to be on the main roster after 6 months of being in NXT. For all you haters out there, what's your effing problem? Like, I don't understand it. Kevin Steen proved time and time again that he was going to be WWE ready. It's one of the biggest dreams he's ever had in his life. You really think he's not going to turn it up and turn it on when he actually debuts? He signs in August. He debuts in December after waiting months to actually get on the card in NXT. He debuts. He gets in the title feud instantly. In February, he gets the title, and he's held the NXT title for frickin' 4 months. At what point did you not think he's going to have a rocket strapped to his back to send him through the stratosphere? I mean, you literally have him in his main roster debut facing the #1 guy in the company. And it's not a U.S. title match. It's just a champion versus champion match.
I really think that shows how much faith that they have in him. And honestly, everyone that's been in the past saying, he'll never be successful on the main roster, or he'll never be a main star on the main roster. I'm so excited and glad that the time is here for them to eat their words. Simply because most people that do say that because they're not into indie guys, and he is a huge indie guy, and that's really their only reason for saying that he won't be successful. And he's only made a couple appearances, and he's already got so much buzz around him, it's insane.
And I think a big one on this, too, is that for all the naysayers that were out there about Kevin Owens, this is WWE/NXT's way of flipping him the middle finger and saying, what were you guys saying again about this guy? Because he is a star. And that's their way of doing it.
AKA guys like Vince Russo, Jim Cornette, who said that Kevin Owens would only wrestle in front of 300 people for the rest of their lives. Like a ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
I like it. I like that it just got quiet. The was like, yep.
The guy is freaking money on the microphone, no matter if he's in the ring, if he's backstage with Renee Young, if he's backstage with Todd Phillips. It doesn't matter. The guy is freaking money. That promo he cut on SmackDown solidified him as a main event guy. He's already a main event guy on the main roster. He doesn't have to do anything else. He's already there. That promo he cut with Michael Cole was effortless. Effortless. And when I see people like Randy Orton flub and struggle with remembering their lines, or Seth Rollins, who's the biggest heel in the company is trying to push as much as possible to get over, like Edge, Kevin Owens doesn't have to do that. It's effortless. It's there. He has that. And I saw people in different groups and on different pages and on different Twitter accounts and stuff talk about the fact that Kevin Owens doesn't have mic skills. You're effing crazy. If you haven't watched his backstage segments with Renee Young, or if you haven't watched his segment with Michael Cole on SmackDown, what are you doing? Are you basing this off his opening segment with John Cena 3 weeks ago almost? It was still good. What's wrong with you? If you haven't listened to his appearance on Talk Is Jericho as well, that aired an hour after the news broke that he was a main event guy or a main roster guy, it's amazing. You should definitely go listen to it, because you get to hear his passion for the business. You get to hear stuff that he's talked about on different podcasts over the last 4 or 5 years. You get to hear all that again, but at the same time you get to hear recent stuff, like his interactions with Vince McMahon, which is really freaking cool to listen to. And then, of course, you get to hear his excitement for tonight's match, which is unparalleled. And now I'm going to go through the predictions, and then, of course, Adam has to explain himself, because I don't understand where the hell he gets this this finish. I told Chris Walter in the predictions, I don't know whether to pick a no contest or a no DQ. He went ahead and picked it for me apparently, and picked no contest. I guess because I just couldn't make my mind up. He went ahead and picked no contest for me. I'm not the only one who picked no contest though. The other guy's in this panel, so we'll get to him in a second. Will Benson picks Kevin Owens is winning clean over John Cena.
Really?
I would love to see it. I just can't pick that. Joe Omega picked the same thing. I would love to see it. I just can't pick it. Like just knowing how John Cena's booked always, I can't pick that. Okay? Now, if you go back and look at Rusev and John Cena's feud, Rusev did win the first one. He made Cena pass out, and he got the victory via submission. But is that a clean victory via pinfall? No. I don't see a Kevin Owens victory via pinfall tonight. I don't see that at all. John Alba, Frank Manzo, Chris Walter, Sam, y'all picked John Cena via DQ. The other option that I had that I couldn't pick whether or not it was going to be a no contest or a DQ. But Alex, you picked no contest as well. Tell me why. What are you expecting to see in this match?
Again, I think, like you said, there's only two possible outcomes. There's either a no contest or Cena's winning via DQ. I cannot fathom how people continually believe that Owens is going to lose clean and his ride to the main roster is already over. There's a reason there's, 3 new shirts in one day released for the guy. There's a reason he's been on the main roster, 6-7 months he's already on the main roster, and he's going to be on there a full time. I think it's either a no contest or a DQ win. I picked no contest simply because I think it makes more sense for Cena and Owens to beat the hell out of each other. Maybe, I think like you alluded to too, maybe Owens just keeps beating the hell out of him. The refs have to stop, kind of like the Sami Zayn takeover match. You don't have Owens win, but you just stop the match, no victor. What I think we see after this, I think you're definitely going to see Owens in a Money in the Bank the ladder match. I don't think you're going to see Owens and Cena have this feud. I think it's just a one-off thing where maybe Cena as well goes into the Money in the Bank match, but they're going to keep their options open, no clean victory. I think it's going to be a no contest.
Yeah, this just in, P.S. WWE just confirmed that Rusev's out. So Rusev is going to be out for the Chamber. We expect Wyatt to be in. There's no confirmation of who's taking Rusev's place, but this just in, Rusev is completely out for the Chamber. Just letting you know. Here's some news, breaking news for you. Rusev's out, and there's no definitive insertion for his spot, but we can only assume that Bray Wyatt's probably to get that spot because Bray Wyatt doesn't have a match. But I totally agree with you, Alex. As far as Kevin Owens goes, there can't be a clean finish here, especially not knowing that Kevin Owens is going to be on the main roster from now on. He's made an impact already with his mic work. He's made an impact as far as what he's done, but he hasn't been in a single match yet. He hasn't been in a match, and he's going against the top guy in the company, who is wrestling people left and right for the title and needs a feud going forward. How's it not going to be Kevin Owens? And if John Cena wins tonight, how's the feud continue? It's got to be either a no contest or a DQ. And like I said, Walter went ahead and picked no contest for me. Everybody else picked John Cena via DQ. I really see Owens doing the same thing he did to Zayn, just unmercifully beating John Cena up as much as possible, which will be terror to his child if you actually did listen to Talk is Jericho, because Kevin Owens' son, his autistic son, is literally the biggest John Cena fan on the face of the planet. So this is going to be an interesting conversation when he gets home. But Sam, you picked John Cena via DQ. Tell us why.
Just because I don't see either of them taking home the win, like you guys said. It's got to end in something, either no contest or double count out or something. But I just don't see either of them picking up the win simply because Cena's the top guy. You don't really want an NXT guy pinning your top guy on a pay-per-view. But then again, you don't... Kevin Owens is NXT's top guy, so you don't really want him losing, and he's supposed to be this dominant force. I just see it either being he somehow gets himself disqualified, or there's a no contest or a double count out. Like, I would love to see them take this outside of the ring and up the ramp, and just like it was with the what was it? I Quit match with Rusev, just like they were just beating each other with a bunch of stuff around the ring. I'd like to see something like that, but it be a double count out since it's just a regular match. I like you guys, I don't see John Cena winning clean. I don't see Kevin Owens winning clean. Just no contest or DQ is the only thing that makes sense here.
All right, the one wearing the tie. You picked John Cena being pinfall. You're the only person to do so. Explain yourself.
All right, here's my logic behind this.
I need to hear it.
If John Cena was a straight baby face, absolutely I'd say he wins by DQ. But we've talked about this so many times. He's a heel right now. He wins due to outside interference from either Sami Zayn or Samoa Joe. And I'm not saying they might be there, but I'm saying if they just cue their music or they do anything just to distract Owens enough, and then where you take it from here, and that's how Cena gets a pinfall. So there's going to be interference that causes a distraction for Owens. So it's a dirty win, but it's going to go down as a pinfall.
They will not put Samoa Joe on this.
Either.
Hold on. Now, where I do think they go with Kevin Owens, like say if he does take a pinfall, imagine, we know what Kevin Owens is right now, is this big monster, this family that's doing it, every way that way. Now imagine if we have Kevin Owens with a chip on his shoulder because somebody screwed him out of his match against John Cena. Now you have somebody that's going to run roughshod not only in NXT but on the main roster, and when he finally makes the full switch. And I think that gives him that big, not only the for my family excuse, but okay, you guys pissed me off. You got in my business. Now this business is my business.
I mean, I can't see it. I understand where you're coming from as far as what you're saying. I just don't understand how you you really think they're gonna play Samoa Joe or Sami Zayn's music on the main roster tonight?
With him being booked for a Ring of Honor show and Ring of Honor just getting their fucking Ring of Honor just getting a TV deal again, they're not gonna put Samoa Joe on that main roster, on that main stage until they sign him into an exclusive contract.
Correct.
Here's the way I'm looking at it. This has been the most talked about Cena feud since CM Punk Cena. I mean, I think let's just call it a spade a spade.
Agreed.
But I think we're all expecting Kevin Owens to either go over or have a disqualification or have some kind of count out. That's what, especially with them launching all these shirts, especially this is the one where LOL, spoiler alert, John Cena wins. There's a feeling in me that just says because they're promoting Owens so much and because they're doing so much, they're leading us on to believe that Kevin Owens is going to come out and demolish Cena. And then, again, to us fans, to the hardcore fans, the IWC fans, we're really looking forward to Kevin Owens. This is how they dig at us, and they give the kids what they want.
If John Cena wins cleanly, I will apologize to you tomorrow. But if there is not a clean victory tonight, whether it's John Cena versus via DQ or no contest, I expect an apology for that theory that you're coming up with during your post show of tonight. Period.
You will get one.
Yes,
you will get one. Absolutely.
I expect it, and I will give one if I'm wrong tomorrow. I definitely will. I don't see how they're putting these new shirts up. It's the complete opposite of what you're saying for me. They just pushed 3 shirts for him. He's the full-time Brock Lesnar. He's the full-time prize fighter on the roster now. It's not like you have a part-timer in Brock Lesnar. He's only going to be there a couple months a week or a couple months out of the year. Like, it's not that. It's now they have promoted Kevin Owens to full-time. He is on the roster full frickin' time. At no point, if they're going to make him to be some big, like, BA dude on the roster, can he lose to John Cena tonight? They can't do it. He cannot lose clean. Cannot. And they're not going to run an NXT guy's music to distract him. That's just not going to happen. And again, I'll apologize if I'm wrong. I can't see any other way that I am. As far as the main event goes, before we get out of here, because there's 10 minutes before the kickoff show starts, a lot of us picked Seth Rollins. There's a couple that didn't. Will Benson thinks Seth Rollins is going to win via DQ, which means someone's going to come in and attack him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to come in and attack Seth Rollins in this match? I don't know. Roman Reigns? Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar's not even advertised until July. Will, I need you to come in here and tell me why you picked Seth Rollins via DQ. The rest of us picked Seth Rollins via pinfall, except for Sam, who is here. So you tell me why you picked Dean Ambrose via DQ.
Because I can see Seth Rollins getting disqualified just to hold on to his title. I think that they're going to put on a phenomenal match, and
it's not the worst
idea.
Just to
see this continue forward, I would like to see it not be a definitive ending, just to let the feud continue. Because if Seth Rollins beats him clean, then really where does that leave Ambrose? Are they going to continue that feud? Because, he lost.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, yeah, I guess. But I don't know. I would just really like to see Dean Ambrose win, but not actually get the title. So.
Well, wouldn't it be interesting if tonight we started planting some seeds for Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose to be the top two dogs in Money in the Bank come next month?
We already know Roman Reigns is in that match, is in the ladder match. So it would be cool to see Dean Ambrose get added, because we all believe it's either going to be Owens, Ambrose, or Reigns. It's going to be one of those three in that ladder match that win the Money in the Bank. All of us expect Seth Rollins to retain the title at least. Even Sam's Dean Ambrose via DQ doesn't mean Rollins loses the strap. So we all expect him to retain the title. But Dailies, a better question. Actually, Alex, let's ask you first. Well, no, let's not, because he's frozen for some reason. Dailies, let's ask you. Where does Kane fit into all of this?
Hopefully nowhere.
No, he's going to be involved in this match.
Maybe he's what causes Dean Ambrose to get the win. I don't know. I really don't want Kane to be involved anymore. His character is just getting on my nerves in this whole storyline. I'm sorry, I hate corporate Kane. My least favorite Kane ever. I'd rather him go back to Isaac Yankem than being corporate Kane.
I agree.
So I have no clue. I don't know what they're doing with Kane.
This is one where I think it's going to be a very chaotic pay-per-view, and I think that you might see Kane, you might see Roman Reigns, probably J&J Security. We might have another one like we did at the last pay-per-view. But I do think Kane comes out and maybe accidentally causes harm to Rollins. And again, not saying that that's going to change the outcome, but eventually they have to somehow. We're going to see Kane and Rollins somewhere, I feel like.
Absolutely.
And tonight would be the perfect place to at least start that. So I can see him going to hit Ambrose or going to do something and accidentally hitting Rollins instead. Ambrose goes for a quick roll up. Rollins kicks out. That kind of stuff. But I think we see Kane get involved, and this is where him and Rollins, I guess, the water really gets to boiling. It's bubbling right now, but I think the boil's over, so to speak.
Yeah, and my theory is if you have Ambrose and Reigns in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which we expect them to be, maybe Money in the Bank is where you have Kane versus Seth Rollins. We know that Brock Lesnar is going to be competing at Battleground. We don't know what Brock Lesnar's SummerSlam plans are, whether or not that's going to be a triple threat or just a main event match. We don't know what that's going to be, but we know he's going to be in the main event at Battleground, which to me screams title rematch between he and Seth Rollins to get more eyes on Battleground, so that the WWE can have more WWE Network subscribers in July, which I'm assuming will not be a free month, with Brock Lesnar being on the card. That being said, I think that we may see Kane versus Seth Rollins next in 2 weeks, because that would free Ambrose and Reigns both up to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and that gives Seth Rollins an opponent who he's been feuding with back and forth in the Authority with the slight remarks and all that kind of stuff. The last few weeks it hasn't been that bad, but it's been there. There's no way they're not going to go forwards with a Kane versus Seth Rollins match, not with the way they've been acting towards each other. If they don't do a match between the two, there's absolutely no reason for them to have been doing what they've been doing between the two. It would just be worthless, and would have absolutely no payoff whatsoever. And while WWE logic screams no payoff, I would probably have to apologize to myself, saying that there's not going to be a Seth Rollins-Kane match in the next 2 to 3 months. So I think it's going to be at Money in the Bank. So I agree. I think Kane gets involved in this thing some way, shape, or form. And I totally believe that Seth Rollins will retain his title tonight. And Sam, if it's a DQ for Dean Ambrose, you're the only one that gets that pick right. So big ups to you. Alex, who returned but again is frozen. He's dealing with some big thunderstorms in the Pittsburgh area. So if he comes back through here in a minute, we'll get his opinions before we leave. But that's the card, man. We've gone through all the predictions. It's not a huge card, but it should be good. We're looking at good matches. We're looking at good feuds going forward. Looking at 2 new things in the chamber that we've never seen before: an IC title match and a tag team turmoil match, a freaking tornado tag where everybody's in at once, which is going to be crazy. So I'm excited. We're going to see Owens. Cena's not going to win via pinfall, and we're going to see what happens. But at the same time, it's going to be a good time, man. I don't know how you guys, what your guys' thoughts are on where we go from here as far as Money in the Bank in 2 weeks. But in 2 weeks, we'll do this show again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all the fans, we've had a huge number of people watching this show tonight, which is awesome. Thank you for the most minimal amount of promotion that we did for a wrestling warm-up show. As I was gone all morning, and then I played a show in Greenville from 2 to 5, and literally got on here at 5:50 to get this thing going at 6. Did a little bit of promotion, but not much. We had a huge number of viewers, so thank you for watching this show. We do it only because you guys are the ones that watch, and without you guys, we wouldn't even do this thing because there would be no point. No one would be watching. So for the dailies, who you can follow at LadyNexus13 and Adam Daily 13, of course, Alex Bisong, who's frozen. I can't show him right now. It's Glass Mode ALB. He's a little bit uncensored at that point. So make sure that you recognize what's going on there. No, Jazz, do not tell me that's John Cena wins clean tonight. I'm sorry. So you have some backers, Adam. I don't know how. I don't know how
just wants because Cena wants to ruin our night. He's the buzzkill. He's the ultimate buzzkill, and that's the only reason why I think that. Honestly, Doug, until I sent the picks over to Walter, I was dead set that this was going to be a no contest. And then there was just something that last minute I thought, you know what, they're going to have Cena go over just to spite us. Just to spite us. And I feel like this is exactly because right now, I guess, where does Owens go? If he beats Cena, I mean, I think he's the front runner for Money in the Bank. If he beats Cena tonight, he's the front runner for Money in the Bank.
Let me tell you something. There are 3 front runners for Money in the Bank. And he's one of them.
Yep.
And there's no more than that.
Reigns and probably Ambrose.
You got 50, 25, and 25%. That's where you go from there. Yep. But, period. No, Jazz, it's not happening. And don't thank you. I expect an apology from you, too, when Cena does not win clean tonight.
Hey, there's always going to be just a crazy couple people out there, like this one, and I guess whoever's in the chat.
Yeah, Y2 Jazz. Good old Jasmine. No, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I will apologize if I am wrong.
Apologize.
Kiss it. Apologize. If you don't know what that's from, it's from South Park, so deal with it. I'm at Doug O'Mac or at WrestleRumors during the show tonight. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you're tweeting along with us. The kickoff show starts in 1 minute. Get over there, watch it. You're going to see Ms. TV with Daniel Bryan, and of course we expect a good time tonight. So hope you have a good time watching Elimination Chamber on the WWE Network, and we will catch you on the next one tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on WrestlingRumors.net.